Hello everybody, my name is Christopher Taronis, and for my pathogen presentation I chose rubella, otherwise known as the German measles. The scientific name is rubella, and it goes by the other commonly known names, the German measles and the 3-day measles. So the classifications of rubella is right here. We have the family, which is the Togaviridae. Hopefully I pronounced that right. The genus is the rubivirus, and the virus, otherwise known as the rubella virus, found in humans. So, because rubella is a virus, it cannot be seen under a gram stain. Now, I did find a picture of it under a microscope, which I put right here in the corner of your screen. Right here, rubella is a spherical virus and grows up to 40 to 80 nanometers long. And rubella is culturable. I found on the CDC's website of scientists who cultured it, and they explained how they did so. It is preferred that you get a nasal swab of the virus and transfer it over to a VTM media for 7 days at 35 degrees Celsius. So next, here we have the rubella life cycle. Now this is an amazing picture I found on the CDC's website, which shows the life cycle and reproduction of rubella as it is living in a host. Now there is a good portion of this which we probably won't understand, but I will just be going over the general idea of this picture. So right here up at the top, we have the rubella virus, which is abbreviated as RUBV, which attaches to the receptors of the cell and enters the cell by endocytosis and makes its way through a vesicle and is released as a nucleocapsid or a genome. Then it undergoes translation, then replication, transcription, and makes its way over to the Golgi to be assembled and later sent off into the rest of the cell and infect more of the host. So as it goes to the Golgi, the new cells are then released by another vesicle, and as I said, makes its way to the top, released, and goes about infecting the host. So over here in the corner, I just have a general structure of rubella, which I explain in the next slide right here. The rubella virus is spherical, grows up to 40 to 80 nanometers long, positive sense single-stranded RNA virus with spike-like proteins. The hemagglutinin containing surface projections and it has an electron-dense 30 to 35 nanometer core, which is surrounded by a lipoprotein envelope. And down here is just a drawing of the rubella virus and its layers. So more about the disease. So rubella commonly goes by the other two names, German measles or 3-day measles. It is called a 3-day measles because it only lasts for about 3 days. Now, the rubella occurs worldwide with seasonal distributions. Humans are, of course, the major reservoir. And on the CDC's website, there have been no foundings of rubella in animals or have been found in insects. The German measles virus can be prevented very easily by childhood routinely immunizations of the rubella virus vaccination given to children at a young age. So the disease, a little bit more about the disease. It is a mild disease and every age is most at risk. It is diagnosed typically by a rash, low-grade fever, or respiratory problems. The disease is transmitted by direct or droplet contact with respiratory secretions, and as I said, rubella only tends to last 3 days and is why it's given the name 3-day measles. This continues to be a problem in countries with low vaccinations. Like many other viruses, countries with low vaccinations do not have the money or resources to give their people these vaccinations, and why viruses are more commonly found here. Here in the US, very low rubella, if any, because we are all vaccinated at such a young age for these viruses. Now, this is the complications and why rubella is such a dangerous pathogen and why we should be wary of this virus. Now, the complications take most of its effect in pregnant women and the child being born. This is the most dangerous state for rubella to infect either the pregnant mother or the child. So for the child, a miscarriage is very possible. And other problems for the child is heart problems, loss of hearing and eyesight, intellectual disability, liver or spleen damage. Now, for women, pregnant women, or just normal women who get rubella have a 70% chance that they may experience arthritis. This is very rare in children and in men. And here's a case study that I found on the CDC's website that goes over one of the infections that happened in 1999. This happened in Arizona, where it was reported to the health services of a 1.5 year old Hispanic infant. The infant was a premature child at 34 weeks. Complications noted at birth included pulmonary valve stenosis, congenital cataracts, intracranial calcifications, and probable hearing defects. The mother at the time of her child being born was positive for rubella after birth, and this is what led to the child having these symptoms at birth. And 2 months later, after these health services was contacted on April 5th, 1999, the infant sadly passed away due to an acute pulmonary hemorrhage, which is consistent to rubella. And that is my presentation on the rubella virus. Hopefully you understood and obtained new information about the rubella virus and how you can prevent it in the future. So thank you for listening.